Hello, dear friends. And today I want to tell you in detail about one very interesting Wi-Fi surveillance camera from Moes. The first thing I will emphasize is the price of about $16 to $17. This is a very budget camera. The second is a 4-megapixel camera sensor and two-way voice communication. The third point is the ability to tilt 180 degrees and rotate 360 degrees. We add here the ability to detect motion and sound, automatically close the camera, or privacy mode, support for the OnVIF protocol and the ability to set quick viewpoints. Let's take a closer look at this new product, analyze all its capabilities in the Tuya Smart smart home ecosystem, check what it can do when working with Home Assistant. I will not forget to check the OnVIF protocol and of course automation and tests. Sit back, it will be interesting. Let's start with the technical specifications. The name is Moes WCM-P52 4-megapixel sensor. Video resolution 2560 by 1440 pixels. Support for memory cards up to 256 GB, cyclic video rewriting. Horizontal rotation by 360 degrees, vertical by 180 degrees. Minimum light sensitivity of 0.1 lux. Availability of two-way voice communication. Availability of motion detection and sound detection. Can be used as a security camera or a baby monitor. Ability to create quick tracking points. Availability of IR illumination. Support for WDR mode and privacy mode. Compression codec H.264 and H.265. Connection 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi network. Support for network protocols, TCP/TP, IPv4, DHCP, RTSP, P2P. Support for the OnVIF protocol and the ability to record to the cloud. Power supply 5 volts up to 1 ampere via USB Type-C port. Dimensions 115 by 95 millimeters. It comes in a cardboard box like this. On the front, we see an image of the camera, the brand name, and the Wi-Fi connection protocol. The right side describes the main advantages of the camera, and the left side contains contact information for the representative offices and production. Apparently, the manufacturer will produce different lines of cameras, because on the back there is a sticker with the name and protocol for connection and power supply. Everything is packed securely inside, so you don't have to worry about delivery. The camera is folded and packed in a cellophane bag. Let's put it aside, we'll get to it later. Behind the camera is a fairly thick instruction booklet. The instruction is in many languages and the main focus is on adding the camera to the Tuya Smart smart home ecosystem. There is a small cardboard box nearby. In it, we see a cable for connecting the camera's power supply. The cable is 1 meter long. The cable itself is quite dense and high quality. On one side, there is a standard USB port, which will allow you to power the camera from any power supply or even a power bank, and on the other side, there is the Type-C port, which has already become popular and which I think is much better in terms of fastening than the micro USB port. Next, in a separate bag, we have 3 plastic dowels and 3 screws. Yes, you will be a little surprised now, but the camera is not only intended for installation, for example, on a table or a nightstand, but also on a wall or ceiling. For this, the kit includes a plastic plug. It has 2 holes through which we fix it in the place we need, and thanks to the thoughtful design, we attach the camera to it. We turn it a little and that's it. The camera is securely fixed and can be installed in any place you need. It seems like a small thing, but how much it reveals the possibilities of installing the camera. And at the same time, if necessary, we can quickly and easily remove the camera and install it in another place. I love the Moes company precisely because of such little things and thoughtfulness. And of course, because of the excellent quality of their smart devices. The first time you take the camera in your hands and do not understand that it is a camera. On top is a speakerphone, and even more like a microphone. But in fact, this is a transport mode or a privacy mode, which I will talk about a little later. The camera is made of durable plastic and comes in beige and cream color. There is no color choice at the moment, but it may appear in future releases. The camera consists of 3 parts. The static lower part, the middle part rotates around the lower part 360 degrees horizontally. And the very top part directly with the camera, which is connected to the middle part and can rotate vertically 180 degrees. At the bottom there are thick silicone spacers that will allow the camera to stand steadily on any surface. There is also a sticker with the manufacturer's logo and camera model. Around there are small grooves for attaching the camera to the platform from the kit. On the front part there is a button with a call icon. This is the intercom button. If someone presses it, you will receive a notification of an incoming call on your smartphone and will be able to accept a video call for communication and viewing the room where the camera is installed. Very convenient for children and the elderly. At the back there is a Type-C port for connecting the camera's power supply. The manufacturer's logo is applied to the middle part, rather like a marking of the camera's movement. The third main part, it rotates around the vertical axis by 180 degrees, which allows one camera to view the entire room where it is installed. On one side there is a speakerphone for intercom, and on the other side is the camera itself. Above it is a microphone and around the camera there is an IR illumination for night shooting. On one of the edges there is a reset and pairing button, and next to it is a slot for a microSD memory card. It stands steadily on the table. When opening or closing the camera, it does not erase anything anywhere. Let's connect the camera to the Tuya Smart smart home ecosystem. When I turned it on for the first time and opened the application, it was automatically found. If this did not happen for you, let's add it manually. To do this, install and open the Tuya Smart application. Then in the upper right corner, click plus and select Add Device. Go to the Camera and Lock section and select Smart Camera 2.4 GHz 5 GHz. After that, connect the camera to the power supply or power bank. Now we need to hold the reset button on the back for 5 seconds. Click Next. Now you need to make sure that you are connected to your home network and make sure that the Wi-Fi password is correct. After that, a QR code will appear on the smartphone screen, which you will need to show to the camera at a distance of 15 to 20 centimeters. Next, the camera will be added to the Tuya Smart smart home ecosystem. Going inside the plugin, in the main window we see the current video from the camera. By swiping our finger over the image, we can rotate the camera in the direction we need. Above is the menu for switching from HD to SD data transfer quality. Next, enable or disable the ability to listen to what is happening near the camera.
То, что происходит возле камеры.
By default, sound transmission through the microphone built into the camera is turned off. And the last button is the removal of black bars, you can say the increase in image. If you use the vertical viewing view, the first button is the transition to the landscape viewing view. The second button takes a screenshot of the current frame. The microphone in the center, when pressed, activates two-way voice communication. The camera icon enables recording the current video from the camera to the smartphone memory. In standard mode, you can control the rotation of the camera by moving the screen of the smartphone. And if you switch to landscape mode, then on the left side we will have access to a virtual joystick for controlling the camera. And next to it are buttons for increasing or decreasing the digital zoom of the camera. And on the right side are buttons for recording video, turning on or off the feedback microphone, and a button to take a screenshot. We switch the image to vertical mode and click on the button for displaying the additional menu. Here, a little more options open up. In the playback menu, we can select the time and date of the video archive saved to the memory card and start viewing from the selected time and date. And by clicking on the download icon, we can select the range we need, a maximum of 10 minutes of video in one range. Then we can download it to the smartphone, so that we can later watch it on the smartphone, transfer it via messengers or share via Google Drive. In the gallery menu, we can view saved photos and videos from the camera. In the color theme selection mode, select black or white color scheme. The next mode is the mode of switching to privacy mode. That is, the camera simply switches to transport mode and essentially switches to sleep mode. In this case, its lens is closed, and the microphone and speaker are turned off. This is a great feature if the camera captures intimate parts of your life. I will say this, I have not seen such a function before, and this is an undoubted plus for the manufacturer. To take the camera out of this mode, simply press the Turn on the camera button and after 6 seconds the camera is ready for work. You can turn on the WDR mode, Wide Dynamic Range. This is a technology that allows you to get high-quality images with any difference in illumination levels. Below I will show examples of videos with this mode. The IR night vision function is enabled by default in automatic mode. This is infrared illumination. The anti-flicker mode eliminates flickering at 50 and 60 Hz. By default, the volume of the built-in speaker in the camera is 8. You can set the maximum level to 10. A little lower we can activate the motion tracking function. This is when the camera will track a moving object. I will show you how to do this later. You can activate the motion or loud sound notification function. Notifications immediately come in a pop-up window on your smartphone. Here's how you see the camera has recorded sound. And here's the camera that has recorded movement. In the last menu, siren, we can activate the siren built into the camera. The menu can be edited, add shortcuts to control the on/off of various Tuya Smart smart home devices. But you can also control the rotation of the camera from this mode. Go to the first item direction and use the virtual touchpad to control the positioning of our camera. If we have activated the motion or sound detection mode, then in the message menu we can view the saved frame when this mode is triggered, which is also very functional and convenient. Let's go to the camera menu. Here we can check the quality of the Wi-Fi connection, share the device with others and set up notifications. We can switch the camera to privacy mode with one button. By going to the basic settings, we can turn on or off the activity indicator, a small blue LED at the bottom of the camera. We can flip the image, turn on or off the time overlay, turn on automatic WDR. In conversation mode, we can change the behavior parameters of the microphone button, press and talk, or press, talk and press again to turn off. We can activate the anti-flicker mode, reduce flickering, and also calibrate the camera. In the global settings, you can control the night infrared vision mode, and also change the overall volume of the camera. In the motion detection settings, we can activate this function, enable the object following function. You can activate the function to outline the object we are tracking with a frame. Activate the siren when motion is detected. You can activate the sound detection function, as well as create a schedule mode, a convenient function if no one is home at a certain time on weekdays, then you can automatically turn on motion and sound detection. It turns out to be a mini security alarm. In the siren settings, you can set the siren volume and duration of the alarm, by default 10 seconds. We can set 4 points for quick transition and viewing what is currently happening in this area of the room. Also a very useful function if you need to quickly move the camera to the window, doors or return to your viewing point. So we got to the OnVIF protocol, which allows you to connect the camera to modern DVRs. By default, it is disabled. If you enable it, you need to set a password for access to the camera. I recommend using a complex password consisting of upper and lowercase Latin letters and add numbers there, and a length of at least 8 characters. You can also set a static IP address in your local network so that the camera never falls out of the DVR settings. In the storage settings, you can see how much space is used on the microSD card, and format it if necessary. Let me remind you that the recording is cyclical, that is, the old video is overwritten by the new one and this process is constant. But in the recording settings you can change this and record only video if some event has occurred, or enable the recording schedule. But I recommend buying a microSD card for 128 or 256 gigabytes and recording constantly. You can buy a subscription to cloud storage. I also recommend enabling offline notification. There were no updates at the time of the review, firmware version 2.15.1. You can also set up an IPC client for a PC. Detailed instructions are available. Now let's check what our camera can do in automations. First, as an if condition, that is, if something has changed in the camera events, then this is a trigger to start something else. Here we see if the motion sensitivity has changed. The OnVIF protocol is on or off. There is an IP address or not. Even working with zoom can be a condition for automation. If the camera heard crying, also a condition for automation, as well as the triggering of the motion sensor. There are a lot of if conditions for the camera. Up to turning on the night mode or changing the siren sound. And now let's see what the camera can do by the if condition. That is, if something worked, or let's say the time has come according to the timer, then. Here you can turn on or off the status indicator. Here is an important point, turn on or off the privacy mode. You can set the privacy mode on the motion sensor in the bedroom, and take the camera out of it by time or by the triggering of another sensor. A very useful function. Next, you can change the sensitivity mode, turn on or off the WDR or night vision mode. Activate the siren or change its sound. Adjust the sensitivity of the sound alarm. Even reboot the device. Frankly, there are a lot of conditions for automation. I did not even expect so many for such a device. Let's check the capabilities of the camera in the Home Assist smart home ecosystem. You can connect the camera through the Tuya Smart or local Tuya integration. Go to the Tuya integration, update it and look for our camera. Here it is. Next, go inside and look at the capabilities. You can turn on or off the security mode when the siren is triggered and motion is detected. In the sensors, we see that the camera is currently recording and we can view the current video from it. The settings have a very extensive list of options. As you can see, almost all the settings that we can make from the Tuya Smart application. Only here the crying detection item has been added, which will be convenient if you plan to use this camera as a baby monitor. You can also change the motion detection sensitivity mode, which is also useful if you have animals at home. The work log is maintained. Add the camera to the dashboard and now you can watch what's happening at home in real time. Or you can connect the camera using the standard OnVIF protocol. Click Add Integration, write OnVIF, this is our standard integration. Next, in the window, enter the name of the camera, its IP address, login admin and password, the one we set in the OnVIF protocol settings on the camera. The entire device has been added. From the control, we can enable or disable autofocus, IR illumination and a wiper. The motion sensor is available in the sensors. In the settings, we can restart the camera or set the date and time. The event log is also present. In order to control the rotation of the camera, we need to activate the PTZ service. To do this, go to the Developer mode, then to the Services tab. And enter the OnVIF PTZ service. Select this service, for the purposes, select the added Moes camera. Now we call this service and the camera now goes up. Now we select down, call the service again, this will be the down button. Now we select panning to the left, call the service, this is the left turn button, we select to the right, call the service, this is the right button. In move mode, you need to set continuous move. Let's test the operation of the OnVIF protocol. For this we will add a camera to our video recorder with support for connecting IP cameras. First, we need to enable it in the camera settings and set a password. Now I go to the settings of my video recorder. I have a recorder from Ank that I reviewed earlier, I will leave the link in the description. In the settings for adding cameras, we write the IP address of the camera, it was also in the settings. Click Add Camera. In the window, specify the OnVIF protocol, port 80, login admin, and the password is the one you set in the protocol settings. This is how we see the camera has been added. Activate the camera. And as we see, the camera has been added and the camera is online. Now we can view it from their DVR application, we can view it from the CCTV monitor, and also record all the video directly to the DVR hard drive. It's very convenient. Let's test the camera. After the first turn on, the camera checks the end points of rotation vertically and horizontally and opens if it was closed, or is set to the point where it was directed before turning off the power, but it still goes through the procedure of checking the boundary points. Since the camera can be connected to a power bank, and then connected to a power supply. Thus, we will get autonomous video surveillance, even when the electricity is gone. I am interested in the camera's consumption. If we talk about the static mode of operation, as you can see, the current is only 200 milliamps. If the camera is moving, the power increases to 0.5 maximum 0.6 amperes. In general, a standard small power bank should be enough for 8 to 10 hours of autonomous operation of the camera. Let's check how long it takes to switch to privacy mode. This is when the camera essentially switches to transport mode. Turn off the microphone and speaker, the lens will shoot the lower part of the camera stand. But I will say that sometimes I encountered a slightly incorrect return from this mode, the camera slightly knocked down the point at which it was previously set. Here is an example of another version of the privacy mode. Triggering of the motion sensor in the bedroom. We set the condition that if the sensor is triggered, the camera goes into privacy mode. The second condition can be set by time, or by another sensor, to exit this mode. Here I waved my hand in front of the sensor, and the camera went into privacy mode. Now after 1 minute it will return to its working mode. Let's check what will happen if you press the call button built into the camera. After we press the button, the camera will try to establish a connection with the owner or owners, if you added relatives or friends to the permissions for using the application. In this case, the camera speaker will make a sound similar to a call signal. If the connection is not established, the speaker makes a sound similar to the sound of a phone call failure. Well, or the second option, if you or your family members accept this call, then you can communicate with the caller without any problems. The camera transmits sound loudly enough. I also have no complaints about the microphone built into the camera. Let's test the motion detection mode. As you can see, I was in the frame and I immediately received a message on my smartphone that someone disturbed the piece. Now let's test the loud sound notification mode. This is how I received a notification about a loud sound near the camera with almost no delay. The built-in siren is also quite loud. If you remove the memory card from the camera, you will not be able to watch the video. As you can see, it consists of many pieces. You need to save the selected time period in the Tuya program to the smartphone's memory and then watch it on the smartphone or transfer it to the PC in any way. Here I transferred it to Google Drive. As you can see, the video parameters are 2560 by 1440, 14 and 3 frames per second. The video container is MP4. Let's check the video quality. Here is an example of a video shot by a camera with daylight. It's a bit cloudy, but I can't turn on the sun automatically, unfortunately. Here is an example of a video shot by a camera in the evening, with artificial lighting turned on. And this is what the video will look like if you turn on the WDR mode.
Hi, how do you do?
Now let's check the night mode. When there is no lighting, all objects in the camera lens are illuminated by IR illumination. And this is what the video will look like with the WDR mode turned on. Now let's check the object tracking function. This is how it will look in the daytime. This is how the camera tracks movement with artificial lighting. And this is how the object is kept in the frame in complete darkness. I conclude that for its cost, this is an excellent solution for home use. Very high-quality video recording, video resolution of 2560 by 1440 pixels in a budget camera is a rarity. Excellent work both in daylight and at night. The ability to quickly and easily control the camera for a circular view of the entire room. The ability to quickly connect and view everything that happens around the camera is also a plus, and two-way voice communication with one call button on the camera is two more pluses, especially if there are children or elderly parents at home. Correct operation of the OnVIF protocol allows you to connect the camera to smart home systems or to a video recorder. This is also an undoubted and huge plus. A large number of different settings and schedules will allow you to customize the camera completely to your tasks and needs. I will say this. I did not expect this from a camera costing less than $20, usually such functionality is included in more expensive cameras. I can recommend it for purchase without a doubt. simple setup and you are always aware of what is happening at home, and if you are not at home, the camera can act as a security guard, notifying you of movement or loud sounds, and will also scare off an intruder with a loud siren. You will find all the links to the products in the description under the video. There is also a link to a group in the Telegram channel, where you will find not only new products on the smart home system, but also coupons, promotions and other communication and answers to questions. There are also links to the smart home forum, where all topics are divided into sections for more convenient communication and information search. Please do not forget to like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel so as not to miss other interesting videos about smart and not so smart home systems. All the best to everyone, peaceful skies and goodness. Bye, bye.